Well, a busy month ahead for the farming community, of course. Livestock sales are happening at the moment, and lots are happening there. Gypsy Day is just a week away, and of course the Mystery Creek Field Days in 3 weeks' time. PGG Wrightson in the thick of it all with that, plus the launch of a new online livestock trading site, bidder.co.nz. So to find out more, Peter Moore joins me now. He's National Livestock Manager for PGG Wrightson on Roundup. Peter, great to catch up with you, and thanks so much for your time. Now, how's things at the moment with the market? Things going well?
Yeah, I mean, the market's still ticking along. The sheep market continues to be strong. I think there's that underlining issue at the moment across big parts of the country where there's been dry for a long time, although it probably to the uneducated eye, it all looks green and looks great, but there's not a lot of feed around the country, and certainly looking at the soil moisture maps in the last week or so, there's big parts of the country that are in soil moisture deficit. So I think there's some nervousness coming into the agricultural sector in general now, with getting, every day is getting closer to getting colder, although we've had some beautiful days. Beautiful day in the Waikato today, sun shining, but no rain, and I think most people would much prefer it to be raining today rather than the sun shining. But markets are still remain strong. Cattle market's probably the one that's been affected the most by the dry. Farmers not being able to quite finish cattle, therefore not trading back in. So the weather's having quite an impact.
There's a huge high, or has been, I think, there's a huge high right across from Australia to New Zealand. I think it's heading off, and next week we might get a little more wintry conditions, but of course whether we get rain is another question. Yeah,
it is, and I think concerning factor for a lot of people in the agricultural industry is the fact that we've often seen medium to longer term forecasts that are showing 2 or 3 wet days, and what we've been getting out of that, particularly in big parts of the North Island, is just a few showers and a little bit of moisture maybe for half a day or so, and then the next day the sun's out again. Yeah. So it has been quite concerning, and I suppose come back to this, there's a lot of supplementary feed made last spring. But yeah, farmers, I sense a nervousness when I talk to some of our clients that they're just not quite sure when the weather's going to break, and they really would like to see a good rain and then some of this great sunshine for a week or two before we get into the real winter weather. So
will they be getting through a lot of their supplementary feed and their silage and baleage, etc.?
Yeah, a lot of farmers are certainly using up. We had a great spring, so they made a lot, but you can see it being fed out pretty extensively now. And I think that farmers, trying to keep their stock numbers to a minimum, and we're seeing that, I suppose, with the real pressure now on space for killing cattle across the country. I think it's come back to just everyone's just a little bit nervous about, if we don't get a good rain and get some sunshine in the next week or 10 days, June's only a bit over a week away. Field days 10 days away, which is sort of always depicted as we're right in the winter when the field days come around. So,
what about moving day, Gypsy Day? Is much to talk about there?
Yeah, I think if you think about the whole dairy industry, it's been under pressure for a year or two. There's quite a change in the dairy industry. We're certainly not seeing the large numbers of dairy transactions that we would have seen, say 3 or 4 years ago. We're certainly seeing similar levels to last year, but not the number of farms changing hands, share milkers changing farms. I suppose a lot of people really been quite conservative about change they're making. So, yes, there'll be quite a lot of stock move around and next Friday, Saturday, but not the levels that we probably saw 5 or 10 years ago. It was a massive day. Now it's probably still moving day, but on a much smaller scale.
And of course this week the payout, the forecast from Fonterra dropped, although there's optimism about the future with the global situation being demand greater than supply, and that means next season might be okay.
Yeah, I think even this season they're still talking about that $6 mark for payout, which it's a lot better than it was a few years ago when we were hoping to get $4, but obviously cost increases, CPI increases, and that. But I noticed that Fonterra's announced a pretty wide band for next year, $6.25 to $7.25, so the dollar, so it's quite significant. But they are certainly talking more optimistically than what they were 12 months ago. and I suppose globally there seems to be real demand still for dairy products, and it's, I suppose, right across the commodities really, Mark. I mean, very strong demand for beef internationally, strong demand for dairy, very strong demand for sheep meats. So people certainly wanting to buy protein out of New Zealand, but some of our challenges have been internally as well, with the weather not being able to produce as much as we would like. So I mean, if I was, dairy farmers will be at least have a good benchmark to work to. As I said before, it's a lot better than $4 something. That's we're talking $6 something.
Peter, great to chat. Next time I think we'll have a chat about Bidder, the new online trading scheme, which we're looking forward to finding out more about.
Yep, a couple of weeks' time we'll give our General Manager of Bidder will be talking to you, Mark, about the launch at the field days. Great new technology, and I think we're excited about it, and I think a lot of farmers will be excited about the opportunity to trade differently.